Hey everybody, welcome back. We're jumping into the Porsche today. So, been driving a little bit since the last video, which was a little while ago since I've been doing the combi stuff. And now the combi's pretty much sorted. I'm gonna jump back into the Porsche. I'm gonna do some interior stuff. So, there's a few bits and pieces I want to do. I'll turn the camera around and show you what's going on.
Sorry, 2 secs. I just wanted to say sorry and apologise to everybody. I haven't been posting up in the last couple of months. I've just had some other life stuff I've been taking care of, which is all sorted now, and hopefully we're going to have some more frequent uploads, and I really appreciate you guys sticking around. So let's get back into the episode. Thank you.
Okay, so in the Porsche, as you've seen it pretty much as last time, got the RS style pedal thingy. I can't even remember what it's called. Yeah, I got a rally up, shift knob, shift knob. But in the back, we don't have anything. No sound deadening, no anything. I think when I originally talked, I was going to talk about pulling all this sound deadening out and doing a heap of, I guess, more track inspired and having it more as like pretty raw and loud on the inside. But what my plan is now is I'm going to chuck some sound deadening back in it. I've got rid of the original piece, which is like a big tar board with like some foam on the bottom. Up the back, there's nothing as well, and this one's got some big cutouts in it, so I'm going to replace this piece of material, but also from the back here I'm going to do a bit of CAD and have a box, so it'll come off this base and come up and then along and on the back, and then I'll put in some like little pockets so that like I can store some tools or some little bits and pieces under here. And then I'm thinking about putting like a little what is it, like a little gate, not gate, little thing, yeah, the words here on it, so that way I can chuck some bags and stuff at the back and yeah, keep it all secure rather than it sliding into the back of seats every time I apply the brakes. And then a few other bits, I'm going to order some new carpet for underneath. In the back piece is actually not too bad, but I'm thinking I might as well just get some new ones. I'll get some black there, and then I'll make a nice little piece that'll go over the center and like hide all that. I also got to clean up some wires up the back, fix a hose, a few little pieces, and then up the front, lighten away. Up the front, I want to do something pretty similar. So I'm thinking I'm still going to have like a bit of storage and stuff down here, but along this piece, let's get out of here. Along the base of it and then up towards where the heater is, I want to put like a nice piece of timber, I think, and then cover that in carpet so it's nice and flat rather than being really, I don't know, I guess it looks a little bit awkward with the carpet in there with all the bumps. And I guess I'll put some nice carpet on the sides here. I'm going to 3D print some bits. So sorry, it's a bit of everything right now. It's going to be a few episodes, but yeah, just an update on the Porsche and cleaning a few bits up. I hopefully want to do some driving in it this summer, and to make it a little bit nicer, I think it'd probably be good to have some creature comforts. So that's what we're going to do. This episode we're going to get into pulling the front seats out and doing some CAD in the back and working out how this back piece is going to go. So let's jump into it. Now we got it all out of the way, seats out of the way. I found a little boot that I put in here to hold these up, which it'll go on later. But yeah, now I'm gonna use some cardboard and make a little box. I won't show you making the box because everyone knows how to make a box. Well, I hope so. My plan is to use these two screws here and those two screws there and have it come back, and then I think I might make some tabs that come off the seatbelt mounts and go up, give it some nice bit of sturdiness, and then I know that it's not going to go anywhere and I don't have to worry about it. And my only other thought was I'm going to have to go higher than this. I don't really want to cut that piece out, just in case if I ever want to go back to having seats in the back here, I'm not having to re-weld it in. So therefore I think I'll have to have the back piece a little bit higher than that. So instead of having it flush with the top of here, I'll have to come up a little bit and just go over the top of that piece. It might even give me somewhere to bolt onto. But yeah, I got should be able to bolt onto both those side seatbelt mounts and these 4 screws down the front, and it should give me some nice support. Let's jump into it and I'll show you in 2 secs what it looks like. Okay, up to cardboard everywhere. I think I've come up with this. So it sits up there nicely. I found those little screw holes, so therefore I should be able to make like a nice little plate that can screw down, which will hold that top piece on. I'll probably still use the seatbelt mounts as well. I'll make some little brackets. This piece I had sitting up like straight up like this, and it didn't look right. Like the way the car sits and everything else, it just looked a bit funny. So now I'm holding a camera, it won't work. But sitting it back and tilting it back a little bit seems to look a bit nicer. So pretty happy with that. Templates feel pretty nice. They kind of sit in there pretty nicely, so thinking it should be pretty decent if I can trace them out properly. I got some plywood I'm going to use, so I'll transfer them onto them, cut them out, and I'll see if it's going to work. Okay, not bad. I stuffed up a few holes at the back. You've seen the ones I drilled on either end, but the middle 2 I stuffed up the first one, and then the second ones are pretty good. And then I worked out that I didn't need them because it doesn't sit low enough. So they're going to get covered with the carpet or whatever material I decide to put on there. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I ended up putting a few screws. That bottom one I stuffed up as well. That one's got 2, this one's got 1. I'll adjust them. I'll put more in after I pull them out, make sure I'm sitting in the middle of the bracket that I was meant to screw into. Pretty happy, it's nice and level. Screw it off. Once I pull it out, I'll put some extra support probably along this edge and maybe along here, just to give it some rigidity. So next I'm going to work out where I want to put the 2 hatches that I'm going to put in the top, pull it out and screw those bits on. And I also want to chuck that back panel back in and just see how it fits. So yeah, let's jump into that. Not bad. Don't pull this out. Okay, whip these pieces up just to pop down in here, just to give it a bit of rigidity. So I'm just going to screw those off. There we go. Wunderbar. Okay, I'm up next. Gonna clean all these edges up, or pull it out, clean all these edges up, and then I'm not sure. Actually, no. Before we do that, I'm gonna make some little brackets for up here. Just gonna make some little L brackets that bolt into there, go onto here, and then that should be super secure, I think. Just whip some brackets up, just to go in here. I've got to trim the corners a little bit, but that'll sit in there like that. And then these bolts, I've just got, well, throw it in there and bolt it in. And so I'll fasten it probably from the underside, actually probably through this side, so I can get it to stay in position, and then I'll screw it from the other side so it's got some nice purchase on it, and that should do it. So that will finish the box up pretty much. So that way it's got plenty of, it's got the screws down the bottom here, the 2 screws at the back, and then those 2 pieces there. So plenty, I think, strong enough to stop it from moving anywhere if there was an accident or anything like that. So quickly gonna put all that together, trim those corners to make them fit in, and move on to something else. Okay, small update. I say update, it's the same episode, Matthew. I've got those in. As you've seen, I drilled through here, which secured it together, and then flipped it. I took it out, flipped it over, and then put 3 screws on from under the underneath side, and same over there, and it's all looking pretty good. So I was just talking to a friend because I was trying to work out how to make these work. And I was thinking, oh yeah, if I put some hinges there, it'll work well because then I can put it, like, just open it up and put stuff in. But then I was thinking, like, if I do that, like, I'll have to have hinges sitting up here on the fabric after I put it in. So I was just talking to a friend, and we just decided that I'll chuck like a lip, so router in a lip around the edge. So like go 10mm in, and like 8mm down, so a piece I can put on there is like 7mm, so I have a little bit of a top, a little bit of like room so I can put some material around it, and then I'll be able to cover it. And I'm also thinking, while I'm there, I'll get him to router this edge too, to give it a bit of a nice rounded edge rather than the really sharp edge that it's got at the moment. So now I've got to pull it out, and I'm going to go to his house, but after I get it back I'll show you what it looks like and we'll keep going. Okay, here we go, update time. So I went to my mate's house and we did a few things. I rolled this edge over. As you can tell, it is a little bit rough, but I'm going to cover it, and I'll put foam on it and then cover it. So I'm not too worried that it doesn't look amazing, because it's going to be nice and sturdy and no worries anyway. But I save that piece for a second. I went along and got him to router this edge in, so that way I can have somewhere for the lid to drop into. So I made it this piece. So I got the piece that I cut out of the hole, and then I made up this little top piece with just some 4mm plywood, and yeah, it'll just pop in like that. So yeah, it sits in there nicely. I'll put a little like loop on the top as I make the top piece, but yeah, calm down. So we're going to chuck it back in, see how it looks, and oh, actually also, okay, I got it. So this stuff here is upside down. It's called Butte Flash. Like, you're a beauty, mate. And it's used for flashing and all those other bits and pieces you can see on the instructions. But it is really good for sound deadening. So this is the stuff I used in the Combi, and I'm going to use it in the Porsche. So it's got a little peel back piece on here, peel that back and you stick it down, foil on this side. And then you use, oh, I haven't got any, actually. More sound deadening. Yes, so you use some like foil tape. So you use it on like in the building, you use it in buildings and roofing and stuff like that, or ducting. It's just like a foil tape. It's really sticky. Don't buy the stuff that looks like foil. Buy this stuff, which is actually really good. It'll stick anything to anything. I've seen this stuff on an exhaust, holding exhaust wrap on, and it didn't go anywhere. But yeah, so sound deadening in the back. I'm going to cover pretty much from, I won't cover that piece because I'm not really going to, no, actually I might cover that bottom piece. And then I'm going to cover all the way up the back, and then the parcel shelf, which will hopefully just deaden all the sound in the back here, because the engine is right there and it just makes a lot of noise. So I'm going to cover all this bit now actually. Damn, that was hurty. Just bent over for a while. Doesn't feel the best on the knees, but looking pretty good. It is, I covered more than I was going to. I was going to go to cover like the 40%, so if you've seen the build I did on the Combi, you'll see that I only covered about 60%, 40 to 60% I think. Whereas this one, I just went everywhere other than a few little bits and pieces. I thought, you know what, it's right on the engine rather than, well, that one is too, but there's a lot more stuff in that one than this one's going to be. So yeah, I've just covered everything. I'm still going to do a little bit down there and a little bit over here, but that's going to be next episode when I get some more supplies, which hopefully turn up if postage goes alright. But the front here, I did a little bit more cardboard templating, or cardboard aided design as they say. So yeah, just mocked up where I want this front piece to go. So I don't know if I explained it enough at the start, but I want to put a nice piece of wood in the bottom with a little bit of foam on the bottom of the wood, so it sits in there nicely and nice and flat. And then I can put some carpet on the edges, and then I'll make a nice little rounded cover for the front, if you've ever seen what they normally look like. Pretty similar, but I'm going to cover it in a nice black carpet. So I've got this piece out. I'm going to trace it onto a piece of wood and see if I can make this template work. The only thing is, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it in. So it'd be fun trying to get this piece out. But yeah, just because it like tucks in there and then it tucks in over the battery, I don't know if I'll have to put like a flap, so like as in cut through here and glue that piece to the carpet, so like when you put it in, then you can like fold it across. But I'll pull this out and see if it works. Trace it on a piece of cardboard, cut it out, and then you'll see me try to put it back in. We have progress! I cut it out. So just transferred it onto a sheet of pine. Man, I say pine every time. It's pine, but it's plywood. Yeah, so I did have to cut down there, and as I was saying, I might put a flap on it, but it's not going to work either, because once you put it in, you can't flip it over. So yeah, it is what it is. I'm pretty happy with that. So what I'm going to do on the back side, I've got like this kind of stuff. So I'm going to put a bit of foam on the back side, and then carpet on the top, and then I'm going to make that cover up the back, and then do the sides. I'm also going to I'm trying to 3D print some relay holders to finish off that project, which, if you haven't seen, is my headlight relay wiring loom, which is really easy to do. Makes such a big difference on your headlights. Give it a go if you can, if you want to. And that's going to do for this episode. So please like and subscribe, really help me out and the channel, and I'll see you guys again soon.